Hey guys, Munchmo here, and welcome to a look at the Cabot Trail. Not long ago, I went on a trip to Nova Scotia, and during that trip, Surya and I went and explored the countryside. Traveled down a stretch of road called the Cabot Trail, which basically goes around the coast of Cape Breton and has a lot of really cool sights. Keep in mind that we drove around for at least a good 8 hours, so there's no possible way I can show you the entirety of the Cabot Trail, but the views were spectacular, and this video just will not do it justice. Our first stop was the Cape Smoky Picnic Park atop Smoky Mountain. The park features walking trails along the coast and has a beautiful overlook of the sea. Our next stop was Lakey's Head, which was a formation of rocks that jutted out into the ocean and provided a beautiful panorama. This was also the first of many signs that I saw warning about rogue waves. Here I am, right at the edge of the rocks, looking down at the sea below, and it's kind of hard to tell from the video quite how high up I was, but I was a good probably 3 or 4 stories above the water level here. Up next along the Cabot Trail for us was Green Cove, which was a formation similar to Lakey's Head, only it had grass everywhere, hence the name Green Cove, obviously. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about the way water moves that brings peace to my mind. Up next was Blackbrook Beach, which was surrounded by ocean-worn rocks. On one end of the beach was a waterfall that flowed into the ocean. The waterfall was accessible via the coastal trail a little farther up the road, so we decided to visit it. Strangely, the water was very dark, but I was able to get a really good view at the edge of the waterfall. It was quite a ways till our next stop, but there were many scenic overlooks along the way. The countryside was beautiful. And the waters of the Aspy River were crystal clear. Down a windy and dangerous dirt road, we found another waterfall that was much, much more spectacular than the previous one. This was the Bulick Bon Falls, which translated from Scottish means talkative waterfall. You can barely make out where the waterfall is in this panoramic shot from across the valley. Further along the Cabot Trail was the Lone Shieling, a replica of a Scottish crofter's hut. We made our way to the waterfall at Macintosh Brook next. Unfortunately, Zuria decided to take an impromptu dip in the water. After that was more driving and many more beautiful views along the way. Our last planned stop along the way was the bog. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite the right season for it. The oceanside view on French Mountain was breathtaking. And of course, a trip like this wouldn't be complete without seeing the local wildlife. Here you can see a doe and her 2 babies. Unfortunately, the Canadian stereotype didn't hold up as we didn't get to see any moose at all along the Cabot Trail. The first thing we did was try to get in the front door, which was obviously locked, but my brother thought that he had a key to the side door. Unfortunately, that involved breaking in through the screen door, which was locked,